every movie.
Yeah.
So,
Hi.
Hi.
We just talked for 47 minutes about our Forks trip or our
Oregon.
Swan House trip.
So this is 5 people are already here.
Nice.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Okay, hold on.
Caitlin.
Hey, I'm
Rachel.
here. Hi, fam. Hi. That's going to be a split bonus out because it was really long. Just talked the whole time. There we go.
Sorry, it took us a minute.
Yeah, we talked for a long time about the house and the trip. It was good. I think you guys will like it.
Yes.
I'm just pushing record. Remember the old days when there would be like 25 minutes of us just
doing absolutely nothing.
Just bullshitting. Oh no, these guys.
Always worth the wait. Thanks, Pam.
Hem. The clouds rolled in, diffusing the light so that it could have been morning or afternoon. Edward's eyes tightened as he scrutinized the view, and I was sure he was seeing this exact scene for the second time, the first time being Alice's vision. It would look just the same when the Volturi arrived. We only had minutes or seconds left now. All our family and allies braced themselves. From the forest, the huge russet alpha wolf came forward to stand at my side. It must have been too hard for him to keep his distance from Renesmee when she was in such immediate danger. Renesmee reached out to twine her fingers in the fur over his massive shoulder, and her body relaxed a little bit. She was calmer with Jacob close. I felt a tiny bit better, too. As long as Jacob was with Renesmee, she would be all right. Without risking a glance behind, Edward reached back to me. I stretched my arm forward so that I could grip his hand. He squeezed my fingers. Another minute ticked by, and I found myself straining to hear some sound of approach. And then Edward stiffened and hissed low between his clenched teeth. His eyes focused on the forest due north of where we stood. We stared where he did and waited as the last seconds passed. Woo!
When Edward hisses low, is it low in volume or low in pitch?
Oh no, how do you do a low-pitched hiss? That was a good start.
Malfoy is hijacking my microphone.
Yeah, she is.
First of all...
Sorry, we have to pause until Malfoy stops literally trying to destroy.
Come here.
Oh, it's a baby.
Oh.
There she is. She wants the attention. Oh,
so
she
bad.
immediately felt bad and licked you.
Yeah.
She chomping a lick.
Did you get embarrassed that you bit me on the camera?
She doesn't want to have a bad reputation in front of your friends.
She's gonna come right back and sit on these.
Oh, go in your house.
You're so dumb.
Hi.
Jamie's here.
What's up, Jamie? I expect you to answer.
Malfoy. This is
She's
not
now trying to knock down the entire board.
Scooch.
Our soundboard
The
was about
cords.
to be on the floor.
Stay over there.
She's so feisty.
There we go. Okay. Anyway, hi.
Ready?
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
This is Marin.
This is Emily.
This is
Remember Twilight.
On this episode of Remember Twilight, we are covering Breaking Dawn, Chapter 35, Deadline.
Last week, a lot happened. It's Christmas. Bella's worried about everything.
What's his face left?
Alistair is like, bye.
There was a family fight.
Yes. There's too many to be on the table, so they just had to do it in the living room.
Right.
A lot of the people who are here said that they will fight with Carlisle if it comes to a fight, which many people believe it will because the Volturi are a little shady.
Mhm.
Just gonna say it.
They're not gonna stick to what they said. They're gonna go crazy if they want to.
Yeah. And everybody is leaving their little, we don't want to say goodbye, but just in case gifts with Renesmee.
Oh my gosh.
And everybody is now in the clearing, just waiting for the Volturi to show up. So you guys, we're literally like here. It's happening right now.
Woo. Who is a kitty?
You're gonna be a butthead some more? Okay. So the time has come for Bella to go pick up her items from Jay. And so she gets Renesmee ready to go, and Edward looks at her and he goes, "Oh, are you heading out?"
Where? Okay, I want to know, because she does not give us the closet tour to choose her outfit for this excursion. I'm kind of mad about it. Because think of how fun that would have been for her to go into the cottage and be like, "Okay, Alice, I'll give you this one last thing. I'm going to look so effing hot to go visit Jay."
Yeah. It's true.
I'm sad about it.
She puts on quite the outfit,
Mhm.
and
that's why Edward is like,
"What are you doing?"
hello?
Trench coat.
Hello? Shoes?
Yeah.
Everything. I just looked Emily up and down as if she was Bella. It was funny.
So Bella's like, "Yeah, just got to do a couple things. No big deal." And Edward's like, "Okay, well, hurry." And she's like, "Yeah, yes."
These guys. Hurry back to me.
Right?
Always.
Bella spends a lot of this chapter pondering what Ara will be able to figure out based on what Edward has been perceiving.
Okay, here's what I wrote down. First of all, Emily's right. I'm going to let you talk. Kanye style. But I'm like, all the worrying and wondering that she's doing is one of those things where I'm just like, oh, this goes to prove that having good grades doesn't mean you're smart. Because Bella had good grades in school. So did I. I was a straight A student also, but I'm not super smart, and neither is she, because she's just like, oh my gosh, did he? Can he? Is he going to be able to? And it's like, honey, it doesn't matter. I just feel like it doesn't matter. She's doing a lot of worrying. She's doing the right thing. She's doing her best.
Yeah.
All the worrying is just like making her worry more a little bit.
That's the thing about worrying.
Yeah.
Like,
did he piece it together? Did he read the thing? Does he know what I'm doing? No, it's okay. He doesn't, and he's not going to try to find out.
Yeah. So it's a really like gloomy day when she leaves, and she goes, and does she drop Renesmee off with Charlie again? I'm not sure.
She leaves her home with Edward.
There you go. So she drives straight to Seattle, and she's like, "I think I know why Alice sent me to that weird place. It's because so that I would know that I needed him to do something shady. Because if I had just gone to his other things, I would have been like, well, why do I need like an attorney? You know, it's like, what kind of legal trouble does Alice think I'm going to be getting into?"
Good point.
And so she's like, "Okay, I get it. But now that like we've had this first introduction, of course, he asked me to meet him at this very nice restaurant. And I don't want to offend him by just doing like a quick cash exchange in the parking lot. So I dressed up so I could go do the whole nice restaurant meeting.
I wonder about Jay in this moment. So I gotta believe that he's never invited Jasper to dinner before. But maybe he has.
I don't know.
Because it's his first idea is to invite Bella to dinner, to be like, let's meet at this restaurant. It's a neutral place, but it's also like the nicest restaurant I could think of. And I'm like, oh, now I just really want to know how Jasper gets his papers. Like,
Yeah.
Does he force Jay to go to like some horrifying place, or does he go to dinner with Jay and just pretend to eat? I don't know.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. Just to hang out, sees. Just sit there and stare at him a little bit.
Yeah. Well, because Bella gets to the restaurant and she goes and she's like, I'm here for like the Jinx party or whatever. And they take her to like a private room.
Right.
So
he does this kind of thing.
Obviously, this
with
is
his
a common
clients.
meeting space.
Right.
Yeah.
But is Jasper one of them?
Yes. It's an age-old question. We get a glimpse into what Jay thinks of Jasper here. So the hostess takes Bella to the room. He takes her jacket for her, and he does a gasp and a look over.
Yes.
Because Bella has chosen an oyster satin cocktail dress.
Mm.
And she was like, oh my, it's kind of nice to be seen as beautiful by anyone other than Edward. As if
honey.
the whole school didn't have a crush on her.
Honestly.
So Bella goes over, there's a fireplace, and she like is warming her hands by the fire so they won't be like so cold when the handshake happens. And she almost lets the intrusive thought win of like, what would it feel like if I put my whole hand in the flames?
Sometimes we all almost let the intrusive thought win.
Yeah. The one that I always used to get closest to is every time I would be making a box of macaroni and cheese. After I would take the like pot off the burner and I drain the noodles, I always wanted to take the gallon of milk and stick it on the hot burner just to watch it like melt and like explode.
Wow, that just gave me
always
chills.
I had such a strong instinct to just like put it on the burner.
Oh.
I always win, but that's the one that I always got like closest to actually doing, because it's like then it's just a mess. Right. So I was like, I could deal with the mess. There's other intrusive thoughts, much more harmful that I stay away from. But that one, what would have happened? It would have burned.
It would have burned.
That's it. I would have been scraping
really
off gross plastic from the burner. Wow. Anyway, Bella almost puts her hand in the fire. So
yeah, she does.
Luckily, Jay walks in right at that minute, so she doesn't have to fight it. She just gets distracted. And she can see that Jay also dressed up really nice for this meeting. And he walks in and he's like, I'm sorry I'm late. And Bella's like, no, like you're on time. I was early. And he shakes her hand and she notices that he is still much warmer than she is, even with her fireplace warming. And Jay comes out with the compliments and he goes, you look stunning, if I may be so bold. And she's like, oh my God, thank you. And also call me Bella. Like they're having a flirt. And then Jay's like, I much prefer working with you over Mr. Jasper. You're much less unsettling.
So I just kept thinking, of course, for Jay, it would be more pleasant to work with Bella. But the shady shit that he does, he doesn't deserve to work with somebody as good as Bella.
Right.
He deserves the Jasper treatment because he's doing incredibly dangerous, illegal things.
Oh, yeah.
And
certainly no one else can have the intentions of the Cullens. Right?
Exactly.
They do it just to go to high school. Everyone else does it to like get away with bad things.
Yeah. And so I'm like, yeah, that'd be nice. And Bella would be a more pleasant liaison, but you don't deserve a pleasant liaison.
Yeah, no, that's Jasper's job. He created it for himself. Like you said, he gets to be in charge of unsettling the lawyer.
He's so good at it too.
But Bella's like, oh, really? I always find Jasper very soothing. And Jay's like, oh, okay. Weird. And Bella notices that he like looks kind of like weirded out by that, and Bella's like, what did Jasper do to you? So she asks him, how long have you known Jasper? And he goes, I've been working with Mr. Jasper for more than 20 years, and my old partner knew him for 15 years before that. He never changes.
He never changes.
Bella's like, yeah, it's kind of funny, huh? So then he asks Bella to take a seat, and she goes, actually, I'm in a bit of a hurry. And she hands him his thick, white envelope of money. And Jay's like, oh, okay, I was hoping we could talk, though. And Bella's like, okay, well, about what? And he's like, well, first, let me show you what I made for you. Make sure everything looks good. So he pulls out this huge envelope, and Bella's like, I have no idea what legal documents look like, but I'll just look at
They
them.
look great.
And so she,
All the margins are really straight.
she pulls them out, and she notices that he took the Jacob photo and kind of like made it look a little different. So it wasn't obviously the same picture. And she's like, okay, yeah, like, I mean, if you do that, then I assume you got all the other details right. Like, cool. And it's kind of hard for Bella to look at the Renesmee one. So she just says thank you. And Jay's like, well, I assure you they're like up to standard. Like, no one's going to suspect anything. And Bella's like, okay. Like, yeah, I'm sure you did great. And then Jay kind of like several times is like, now if the Cullens need anything, Bella, you be sure to let me know. Like, he's trying so hard to get Bella to be the one to contact him. It's so funny. And then Bella's like, well, was there something else you wanted to talk about? And Jay starts stripping the slide. He has to take out his handkerchief and like several times, like, it says he's mopping the sweat off of his face.
Which is completely disgusting, but I would feel exactly the same way if I was about to accuse this woman of what he's about to accuse her of. Yeah. I would also. I'd be in the next room on the phone with her, though. Like, this is so scary.
Yeah, and I mean, props to him for asking.
Yeah.
I guess.
No, yeah. Well, he doesn't want, like, what if she was doing something shady without Jasper knowing? Right. And then Jasper comes back and says, like, what the fuck did you do that for?
Yeah.
He would be dead.
Yeah. So Jay makes like a little bit of small talk with Bella first. Like, so are you like Mr. Jasper's sister or sister-in-law? And she goes, oh, I'm married to his brother. And he goes, oh, you must be Edward's bride, or whatever he says.
Mr. Edward.
Mr. Edward's bride. And Bella says yes. And he goes, well, like, congratulations. I'm so glad that you guys have found each other, or whatever. And then he begins and he goes, over the years, you might imagine that I've developed a very healthy level of respect for Mr. Jasper and the entire family. And Bella's like, yes. And then he goes, if you could just assure me that you're not planning to kidnap the little girl from her father, I would sleep better tonight.
He's 2% worried about the little girl, 98% worried about getting killed by Mr. Jasper.
Yeah, because like if Bella had just been planning on like stealing Edward's kid, Jasper would have killed him.
Yes.
So yeah, he's like, am I gonna have any trouble with this? Because then he goes on, and Bella's like, no, of course not. Like, we just want to be prepared for, whatever. And he goes, okay. Also, one more thing. If Mr. Jasper comes and asks what names I put on your documents, Bella's like, you can tell him. It's okay.
This poor guy.
And he's like, okay, very good.
He's gonna, I just know from my own personal experience, I would be in the bathroom for about an hour and a half later.
Yes.
My tummy doesn't do well under this kind of stress.
Yeah. Before Bella leaves, he adds one more time. Again, if you or the Cullens need anything, please call me. I was like, okay. So she leaves, and it's like pitch black outside now. So she just simply decides to turn her headlights off and floor it. And when she gets home, she notices that a lot of the cars are missing from the garage. And she assumes that everybody's just been borrowing vehicles to get as far away as possible to go feed. And when she walks in, it's only Kate and Garrett that are hanging out. And based on their conversation, she assumes that Garrett tried hunting with the cousins and ate an animal. And he's talking about whether or not they are as equally nutritional.
I love Garrett.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, okay, well, Edward and Renesmee must be at home. Jacob's probably sleeping outside Renesmee's window.
Underneath the window, underneath the planter box.
Mm-hmm. So Bella's like, excellent. I'm going to use this time to be sneaky. So she goes upstairs and she goes to Alice's room, and she can tell that no one else has been in this room since Alice left. And she's looking for a bag. And so she finds this little leather backpack, and she goes, this is perfect. It'll fit everything I need it to, and also it'll look normal for Renesmee to be wearing it. So she goes then into Alice's wall and takes out some of the money.
In the wall.
I assume it's in the wall.
I think you're right.
Maybe they have like safes, but I feel like they
No.
just stuck it in the wall.
Yeah.
So she takes what she says is about twice the yearly income for the average American household.
And it's just a little bit of Alice and Jasper's petty cash.
Yeah, just some extras.
My petty cash is just like $5 that my mom gave me 2 years ago
Yeah.
that I've just been like keeping in a drawer.
My petty cash is my piggy bank that has no cash, only
Some
coins.
quarters. Yeah.
So she grabs all that and she arranges everything into the envelope. She puts the passports, the IDs, and then she kind of looks at it and she's like, is this all I can give to my daughter to like survive on?
Oh my gosh.
And so she sits there for a long time being like, what else can I do? And so she rethinks through things and she's like, okay, if Jacob and Renesmee escape, Dimitri is gone. That would mean that also Alice and Jasper would have a pretty good chance of surviving too.
I love this realization that she has. She hasn't even thought about this before. That like, oh my gosh, duh, Alice and Jasper are still going to be alive.
Yeah.
Like, imagine the hope that wells up in her just thinking that.
Yeah.
I felt it while I was reading it. I was like, oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
They're still going to be out there and they're obviously going to do everything they can to find Renesmee.
Yeah. And so then Bella's like, obviously it would be perfect for them all to meet up, but the only problem is Alice can't track Jacob or Renesmee. And so she's like brainstorming and then she's like, aha, I've got it. So she walks over to Carlisle and Esme's room. She goes over to Esme's desk where she has all her blueprints arranged and she has some extra stationery. So Bella grabs a piece of paper and a pen and she stares at that paper for 5 minutes.
That's so long.
And she's
Try
like,
doing something for 5 minutes, you guys,
and
right
she,
now.
Yeah, and she just like focuses on it so like as hard as she can in hopes that this is such a weird thing and she's like desiring it so strongly that Alice will see. So she sits there for 5 minutes and then she finally writes Rio de Janeiro across the page. And she's like, if Alice and Jasper are still in South America and that's already where we were planning on going with Jake to learn more about Renesmee, like learning about Renesmee and what her life is going to be like doesn't decrease in importance just because some of us might not make it. Like obviously that's still what we would all be needing to do. So it makes sense to send Jacob there and hopefully Alice has a vision of me staring at this paper and writing these words so they'll be able to find each other. So she does that and after she writes it, she just wants to break down and cry. She says, it was better that Renesmee go on without me, but I already missed her so much I could barely stand it.
Oh my gosh.
So she folds a piece of paper and she sticks it in the duffel bag too so Jacob can find it. And she just prays that Jacob took Spanish as an elective at school.
Okay, but Bella, all she has to do is grab a Portuguese book and put it in that backpack for Renesmee.
True, because Renesmee is going to learn so quick. And she won't even have to hear the language. She'll just know how to speak it.
She will. She'll just...
Edward's probably already taught her, honestly.
Well, we may as well start Portuguese lessons. Come here. She already has Spanish.
Yeah. So that's about all Bella can do. And so now they just kind of wait as the weather gets colder and colder. And Edward and Carlisle are keeping tabs on like the clearing that they're planning on going to, making sure it's not snowy out there before they can prepare. And she wonders if everything feels very repetitive to Carlisle since this is also where they fought with the newborns. Bella, of course, tells us it's all going to be new for her because this time Edward and her will be able to stand with their family. And Everybody's kind of on the same page that the Volturi will be tracking Edward and Carlisle. Bella talks about how she only now has hours left, and so she doesn't leave Edward's side.
I don't like it. I'm feeling anxious.
And yeah.
I'm going to have to go to the bathroom.
And she talks about how her and Edward have not said goodbye or had anything close to an ending like that.
Nope.
Because they don't want to speak it into existence.
Mm-hmm.
So they just literally never let go of each other. They're always touching.
She says, whatever end found us, it would not find us separated. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Perfect.
They put up a little tent for Renesmee in the forest, and she's like, oh my god, deja vu, we're camping with Jacob again. But she, of course, notices how perfect everything is now and how terrible everything was last June.
They really, really were terrible back then.
It's been 7 months, you guys.
Oh my god. Wow.
It's 7 months ago, our triangular relationship seemed impossible. 3 different kinds of heartbreak that could not be avoided. Now, everything was in perfect balance.
I cannot. 7 months.
Imagine
really
if we had done Twilight the way we did Harry Potter.
Oh, I
we would
thought
have
about
been
that.
done a year ago.
Yeah, no, I thought about that. Where I was like, oh my gosh, we would have had to do 3 episodes a week to keep up with that.
And then
schedule.
we'd have a nice October, November, December, January break, and then right back to the
where
bullshit.
we would just do 1 episode per month that we was just like, it's October now. Still crying at the window.
No update, yeah. So it is now the night before New Year's Eve, and it's starting to snow, and it's finally sticking to the ground. And she and Edward just kind of watch as the snow lands and builds, and by the time the sun comes up, the clearing is covered in snow, and today's the day. So everybody starts coming into the clearing. She notices how everybody's eyes look, either light gold or rich crimson.
Ew.
They're all real sloshy right now.
True.
They can hear all the wolves in the woods, and so Jacob gets up and he goes and joins them. Meanwhile, Edward and Carlisle are choosing what formation to have everybody stand in, and Bella says that it's like they are galleries. Just these statues in the clearing.
It's so cool.
Renesmee finally wakes up, so Bella helps her change, and Bella says that she chose clothes that looked frilly and feminine, but were actually very sturdy, so they would not show any wear.
These clothes are from the Children's Place. That's the store that I never shopped there because it was too expensive for me when I had little babies. But whenever I would get clothes from like hand-me-downs, they were all like really good quality clothes, but still looked real cute.
Gotcha.
So there we go.
Yeah. Bella says they would not show anywhere, even if a person wore them while riding a giant wolf through a couple of states. So she gets her change, she puts a jacket on her, and then she puts the backpack on her.
Oh, I bet she looks so cute.
Yeah. Bella says that this backpack has the documents, the money, the clue, and my love notes for her and Jacob, Charlie, and Renee. Renesmee takes one look at Bella and she's like, Mom?
Yeah, I don't like this next part, you guys. I'm very
it's
sad
hard
about it.
But Bella says that she had guessed enough not to ask me what I was doing. And so Bella says, I love you more than anything. And she goes, I love you too, Mama. And she holds her locket and she says, we'll always be together. And Bella goes, and our hearts will always. I don't think I can read this.
Like, I was going to read this for the line read. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's real good. Cry through the entire line read again.
Yeah.
Take 10 minutes to freaking read it because it's just like, this is so heartbreaking.
Yeah. Bella says, and our hearts will always be together, but
Oh
when
my
the time
God.
comes today, you have to leave me.
Oh my God.
And all Renez does is touch Bella and just no to her. And so Bella's like, will you do it for me though, please? And Renesmee again thinks to Bella, why? And Bella says, I can't tell you, but you'll understand soon, I promise. So then she thinks Jacob to Bella, and Bella says, yes. But don't think of it and don't tell Jacob until I tell you to run, okay? And so she just nods. And then Bella has one final thing to prepare, which she saw when she was in the closet at home. And she looked up and she saw this huge old box. And she goes, oh, yeah, that thing.
The worst gift I've ever received.
So she pulls it down and she takes out the absolutely enormous diamond gold necklace from Aro.
So stupid. I hate it.
She takes it out and she puts it on now. And Renesmee goes, pretty. And then she just hugs Bella, and Bella picks her up and she heads out to the clearing. Edward gives them both a look. And Bella just comes and stands by him, and he puts his arm around both of them. And Bella says, I couldn't see a goodbye anywhere in his eyes. Maybe he had more hope for something after this life than he had let on.
Maybe. I wonder, I want to hear this from Edward's point of view, like everything. I mean, but also like maybe he has enough faith in Alice and he has seen, maybe he saw enough of Alice's vision and he didn't see enough to know that she thinks Jacob and Renesmee are the only ones who will survive, but he's a pretty hopeful guy lately.
Yeah, and I mean, they're both finally in a place where they have everything they want.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like if you're gonna die, you may as well die when you're at your happiest.
With the person you love at your side. Yeah. Well, and he believes in heaven. Like he believes that that's where they'll go and that they'll be together there. I think that's really sweet.
Yes.
Imagine.
So they go to take their place in the gallery. And Bella stands just right behind Edward. And they have arranged it so that Carlisle, Edward, Emmett, Rosalie, Tanya, Kate, and Eleazar are kind of in the front. Bella is just behind Edward with Benjamin and Zafrina at her side. They want them to be as close to Bella as possible so it's easier for her to shield them. And then Senna is standing right next to Zafrina too. Benjamin is actually sitting on the ground talking about fault lines.
Yeah, he's an earthbender.
Yeah, he spent all night piling boulders up around where the Volturi are going to be. And Bella says, of course, it's not enough to kill a vampire, but it may be enough to distract one. Mm-hmm. So everybody comes out. She looks over. She notices Siobhan is like rubbing her temples with her eyes closed. And Bella's like, is she humoring Carlisle and like just trying to visualize a diplomatic resolution?
No way, she's saving us all.
Yeah, literally.
I say us.
And then Bella can hear all of the wolves just, they're silent and just waiting, and they can only hear them panting and their hearts beating. The clouds roll in. She watches Edward watching the forest. She says that this is his second time seeing all of this. It's exactly the same as the vision, and that they only have minutes or seconds left now. Jacob decides to come and stand next to Bella and Renesmee.
Can you imagine stopping? We restop every week at the end of these chapters. Whereas upon first reading, which I don't think I've read this book more than once. Maybe I have, but I don't know. But I guarantee I didn't stop.
No.
I guarantee I read the last few sentences and paragraphs of this chapter, which we haven't gotten to yet. And then I just immediately, I have to know what's going to happen. Okay.
So Renesmee reaches out and she grabs onto Jake's fur, and from in front of them, Edward reaches back to hold Bella's hand.
I can just re-put the line right here.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
It says another minute ticked by, and I found myself straining to hear some sound of approach. And then Edward stiffened and hissed low between his clenched teeth. His eyes focused on the forest due north of where we stood. We stared where he did and waited as the last seconds passed. End of the chapter.
Earlier, after I read that, Emily goes, what do you think a low hiss would be? Is it like a low in pitch or just low in volume? And I go, I don't know, what would low in pitch sound like? And she goes, like a low, like
I can't even.
It must be low in volume.
It's just a quiet hiss.
Maybe it's low in pitch and volume. Something only Edward Cullen could do.
Honestly, we simply cannot replicate the sounds of Edward hissing.
Hissing lowly.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, what's up? What's up, chat? Y'all crying? Crying but trying.
Okay. I just want to hear Marin read that again on repeat.
You will be able to.
It's 11 p.m. for Jamie. These slightly later recordings are perfect because I don't have to multitask with
Yay!
work.
You can just lay there and listen. I love that.
Malfoy is going to demonstrate a low hiss. You're true.
Good girl.
You're so silly. Okay, guys, this is off topic, but I got something secondhand in the mail today that I must share. A white button-down sleeveless
Yes.
top.
Oh my gosh, you didn't even have to like create it like I did. I cut sleeves off of white button-down shirts. Emily wouldn't wear one.
No. I can't just willy-nilly make choices like that. I got a plan.
Right.
Yeah. Joshua's here, but he thinks he's sick.
Oh no. We were sick.
Yeah. I wasn't sick.
You didn't get very sick.
Mm-mm.
I got pretty sick, but I feel fine now.
Just saying I'm going to visit y'all and spend the whole trip snuggling Malfoy. Rachel, please come snuggle her. She needs every attention.
She needs it. She loves it.
Jamie, no, you don't. What? Joshua, no. Jamie, I love this for you. Rachel, let's coordinate a Utah trip.
Please do, you guys.
We're going to need pictures stat. Yes, Pam. It's admittedly much cuter than anything 2005 could produce, but I will go to my local femmes and post pictures somewhere soon.
Jamie, did you see what I wore to the white gala at FTF last year? I wore a beautiful sleeveless white button-down blouse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's gorgeous. And I found it at the thrift store for like $2. It was brand new. So you can have a really gorgeous one.
Cat snugs, bestie snugs, the best trip. Exactly. Pam and Rachel, I'm coming. Alice would be furious at the lack of closet tour.
I am too.
We'll have to tell Taylor or she'll be upset.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, for real. Caitlin, if you're coming to Utah, I'm going to make sure you're officially moving there.
Oh, I know, Caitlin.
Pam just handcuffs me to the door.
I mean,
it'll be the official adoption.
Hello.
I need a novella about Jasper getting papers done and his experiences with Jay.
So do I.
Agreed.
What has he done to this man?
Was this another Bella brag? Oh no, did we miss one?
Probably. Maybe her looking so good.
Yeah. Jay is in a lavender cocktail dress.
I said that was Joshua.
Anyone else just used to listen to them and doing other things, so I'm just examining the background.
It's really
reliable pretty. Jasper. Bella is gonna become the new Jay liaison.
No.
Yes,
he'll
Caitlin.
get soft with just her.
Yeah. I often re-listen to older episodes as a background track to my life.
Oh, you guys.
Bride of Edward. Mr. Edward. Is Jay from the South? I don't remember.
I don't know. You have to listen to the bonus episode. We
Yeah.
forgot it.
That's what I always thought with the Mr. Jasper.
Mm.
As a representative of the South, I'll claim Jay. Joshua, any objections? No objections. I support this claim. Maybe that's part of why Jasper handles all the papers. They have something in common, both being from the South.
Maybe.
Jacob hasn't been to school in a year. There's no way he took a foreign language before piecing out.
Honestly, he was
Yeah.
a sophomore. You guys.
Agreed, Rachel. Bella is me. We love the optimism, Bella. At least Edward and I will die together.
Yeah.
Shwoo, doing this like Remember Harry Potter would have been a whiplash. OMG, that schedule would have been hectic.
Okay, but what you guys didn't see was behind the scenes when we were doing Eclipse, Short Second Life of Brie Tanner, and Midnight Sun and Harry Potter all at the same time. It was fine because it was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So we would just spend the entire day down here recording, and it gave us a lot of distraction. But yeah.
With that long break in the middle, yeah. Pam, this way of thinking reminds me of another couple. Eyes, crying. If y'all are gonna cry, then I'm gonna cry. I can't take more crying.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Caitlin. I'm mad that someone we've been waiting on for 5 hours decided to show up now and was talking loud, so I couldn't hear.
Oh my
Boo.
gosh, get them out of there.
But it sounds like I'm glad I couldn't. You just missed crying. It was sad. Maybe Edward changed his mind on the inherent evilness of vampires when Bella became one, and he saw that she could still be herself and good and a vampire all at the same time. That's
Maybe.
the biggest thing, I think, is seeing Bella. There's no way Edward could be like, she's a monster after she became a vampire. So then it's like, well, if she's not a monster, then
I'm
I'm
not.
not either.
Oh, so good, Jamie. Good point.
Not me reading this book like 8 times. I agree, Jamie. He's convinced vampires don't have souls, but can he really look at Bella and believe that? Pam reads it once a year or so. And Eddie hiss. Malfoy sensed the pain. Malfoy coming to check.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't think so. She's changed him to the core before that Midnight Sun scene crying. I
Oh
think
my
she could
gosh.
again.
Yeah.
I'm imagining that scene in Toy Story 3 when they think they're about to die.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Malfoy knows.
And they all hold hands and they just look at each other and
We are not okay. Not great, friends. Not great. Edward
No.
learned parcel mouth. I don't have a fever. Good.
Oh, good. Oh my gosh. We need to remember though. And remember.
I got one.
Quick. Okay. Oop.
I do need this though. I gotta quote it word for word.
Well, thanks for joining us again, everybody. Sorry about all the crying and sniffling, but you get what you get here at Remember Twilight. We're a cryy little group. Thank you for joining us. We love you.
And remember to keep at least twice the yearly income for the average American household in your walls.
Okay. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye. I hate that. Precious.
Rachel says she was fresh out of the Remembers. Jamie came in with a remember always check the walls for casual petty cash. We were on the same wavelength.
Yes. Good.
I remembered if you have tissues ready when reading this chapter, obviously. All right, friends. That is it for today. We might have another later-ish recording next week. Depending on things, because Marin doesn't have like a hard out.
Well, it probably won't be for me, but whatever, because it's easy. Yeah, I don't have to
So
pick
we'll
anybody
see.
up from school for like the next 2 months. It's very
Yeah.
nice. So
And then after next week, it'll just be interviews, so we won't be live streaming anything. But I think we're gonna do like some Zooms and other things that aren't recordings to hang out with you guys. We'll get the vacation post up. I'll do a bookshelf tour. for you guys. Caitlin is commenting on your long hair.
My long hair. Yeah, it's so short
Getting
though.
there.
Look how short that is.
Short for Marin.
It's very short.
Um,
Sometimes it feels long, but I gave myself a little trim the other day. I went like
Nice.
this. I pulled it forward. And then I did a little dusting.
just a
I
smidge.
did a dust. And then that was it.
Cool.
All right.
Because you just keep staring at it. Okay, yes, I'll do the bookshelf tour.
It's so pretty.
It's got a lot going on. But we'll see you guys later.
Love you guys.
Bye.